Alright guys, we're back again. Now, fun fact. This is gonna sound insane. Well, not insane. Fun fact though. So I told you I would always try to record this over and over again. And I would get, I would keep doing it. And fun fact, this is the farthest we've ever gotten, like, in the game. Not number of episodes, but this is the farthest we've gotten in the game. This is the first time ever that I'm recording downtown Bikini Bottom. Which sounds really sad, because the reason, I would get farther, in video number. But the idea is, since I would, have everyone say their lines, I would wait for them, I would have all the cutscenes play out. It would be a lot longer, each video, so it would take forever. The first video would be half an hour long, and we'd only get through the intro to Bikini Bottom, right? In this one, we got 37 minutes ish, and we made it to, almost over halfway through Jellyfish Fields, which is maddening, And now we're only on episode 3, and we're in downtown. It's crazy. Maybe that's why I'm enjoying it more, because in reality, this is how I'd play the game. You know what I mean? This is how a casual playthrough of mine would go. I wouldn't try to make it some big epic thing, making sure everyone's heard, That's probably why I'm having more fun with this, and just in general enjoying myself more. Which is good for everyone involved. Ow. Speaking of ow, I'm trying to, get some exercise in, because, well, I mean, you probably don't know, I don't know if you've seen me yet, but I desperately need to. And so I started with walking today. And fun fact, when you don't walk for a while, I mean, obviously I walk, but when you don't do long walks for a while, because I used to do them all the time, and it was fun. But if you don't do them for a while, your feet really hurt at the end of it. It's a weird kind of pain, because it's not like all your foot's sore. It's there's a specific area of your foot that is just it feels almost like a nail has been driven into it, which according to my mom is normal. So, I mean, I hope it is. I just, it's just a weird feeling. It's going away now, because I did the walk early this morning, and now I'm recording. So, that's good at least. But, fun facts. Speaking, because we were speaking of ow, because SpongeBob said ow. And, monkey say, monkey do. I feel like I saw this, I remember this cutscene in the new one, and never mind, I don't remember it enough to give a judgment. I was going to talk about if it's better or worse, but then I realized I can't really remember it at all, which is interesting. In any event. So, I remember, if you recall, I have the schedule. But I think I'm going to change it up just a little bit. Schedule calls for this to be ending at the end of the rooftops, which would again be like Bikini Bottom or Jellyfish Fields, where it ended after the second area. Which, granted, downtown has 4 areas. Well, I guess Jellyfish did too, but 4 main areas. Well, no, it doesn't. It still has 3. King Jellyfish is the same idea as the lighthouse situation in terms of length, but because the second part of Jellyfish just ended being so short, I decided and thought about what if maybe if I cut it halfway through the second part, you know what I mean? So we'll go through the rooftops and get about halfway. I'm not really sure where halfway would be, but we'll just try to feel it out, you know what I mean? In any event, speaking of things I did as a kid, I remember I would always, like I said, I played this game so much, I would imitate the character's lines a ton, especially the one he just said. I think he just said it, because every time I'd pick up something, it'd annoy my parents to no end. I'd be number 1 in the Bikini Bottom scavenger hunt, 3 years running, a thank you. And I'd always do the snotty thank you at the end. And I have, the hiccups are back. The painful hiccups are back. that you can't hear for some reason. Anyway, moving on. This is weird. That's a weird placement, isn't it? Like, I know you're supposed to jump on there, but I never know. I don't think I've ever noticed these tickies. Like, anyway, what was it saying? Oh, right. Copying SpongeBob. Yes, I would do that all the time with games, and even like more recently. I don't really say them out loud anymore, of course, but I remember, because I'm weird, when ukulele came out, I would start, whenever something good would happen, I would start thinking to myself, a pagey and a cagey, amazing. Even though that's one of the most cringiest lines you could say. Well, I didn't say it, but even still, like, it's I don't know, it just made sense in my brain, I guess. My brain is weird. Everyone's brain's weird. We're all human. And we're all weird. And yeah, that's the end of that thought. I remember as a kid, I think it was my dad, like, because my parents used to, like, monitor me playing video games because, you know, like, it's a responsible thing to do, which I'm thankful they did, because that means they cared, unlike other parents that just kind of buy their kids the M-rated stuff and, you know, give up. You don't say. Anyway, yeah. And so with that window, my dad, I think, he loves doing, like, Italian jokes. He is Italian, so I guess it's okay. He likes doing, like, you know, stereotype Italian gangster jokes. It's not a gangster, it's like mobster, but, you know, like, and so he'd be like shut up, when you hit the window. That was always fun. Man, that was a lot of detail for, like, a quick 2-second story. Interesting. Okay, moving on. Let's talk to the cat, snail, not thing. I remember, it's weird, like, this on the tip of my tongue, this conversation has reminded me of something as a kid, but it has to do with this part. Like, I remember thinking something about this part. Maybe that it was really, really cool, the way they did the shot. Yeah, that was it. The way they did that shot of, like, showing the rest of the level, I thought that was cool for some reason. I always like that in games. When they do little cinematics like that, like in Sunshine, when they did like the you know, when they do that and show the level, the mission that you were doing. I'd always be obsessed with that, and like I'd make sure to include them in my video game imagination times. Like I mentioned, like, you know, how I would, like, pretend the world had red coins in it and stuff like that, and robots were everywhere. I'd always format it in a mission, just like Sunshine. And I'd always like imagine in my head before I start playing, like, you know, one of those little sequences of da 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 da, you know, because I remember that's why as a kid, that's why I didn't like 64 as much, because I played 64 after Sunshine, and besides the flood situation making it harder for me to play anyway, I remember I never liked it as much. It seemed primitive just because it didn't have that little cutscene feature, which is crazy to think about, because, like, that's not that important, but it meant a big deal to me as a kid. Which is why it's a shame games don't really do that anymore, you know? Like, I think the only recent one is Odyssey, and that only does it sometimes for the story missions. I mean, I guess there's just not that many 3D platforms in general anymore. Although they were making a resurgence. Although Ukulele didn't do it. I never played Hat in Time, or yet. What else? There were other ones that escaped me right now. I don't think I ever played any of them, though, so... Oops. Isn't that just a typical video game thing to do? Like, a video game player, like, complain about something, and then when the solution is presented to you, not use it? That sounds just like a video game player. Which I am one. So, hey, I'm doing a good job. Although that's something that always bothered me, though. Why is it called gamer? Like, why are people who play video games referred to as gamers when people, like, when you read books you're not a reader. You're just a person because people read books. When you watch movies, you're not a watcher because just people watch movies. You know what I mean? But when you play games, all of a sudden you're a gamer. And I did this wrong. I was supposed to activate the box first. Now I gotta go around again. But no, I think this is a shortcut. I remember when you fall off, they put little trampolines everywhere. Also, that reminds me I have to go get the sock over here. Because I'm going to forget about it otherwise. And then I'm going to be freaking out like, oh, where's the sock? I don't know. It's not this trampoline, but the trampolines like this. They toss them around the area for Sandy if she falls down, I think. Maybe I'm just hallucinating. But I seem to recall that being a thing. Maybe I can just sneak up there. No, it's too high. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to take the... Oh no, there's one. As soon as you give up, it's there. Although I wish there was one closer. But I guess it saves a little time. Which is always helpful. I remember something about her lasso. Okay, not her lasso. But I guess like Sandy in general, and all the characters in general. I remember, like I said, I'd imitate video games, so I'd always try to do their move specifically. Like, you know, like the spin. That ended quickly, the whole spinning thing. Yeah, I got very dizzy. But so that's why I mentioned Sandy, like she had the karate chop and kick. So I ended up doing that more. It's probably why I liked Kung Fu as a kid. Which sounds weird, I guess, maybe. But I took Kung Fu classes as a kid. I won them. I originally won like classes, like a trial for classes or something. I don't know what you call it. I won like tickets or what. I don't know. I got free classes for something. Right? That's the idea. And then my parents started paying for them after because I liked them so much. But then they moved, like the studio, and because of that, it just got they went too far. We tried going for a couple times, but they were just too far, like 2 hours away, and it just wasn't worth it anymore. So we had to cancel, unfortunately. However, fun fact: I didn't break it, but I seriously damaged my neck as a kid because of Kung Fu. For you see, I was trying to do like this roll thing, and I guess I did it wrong, and I just couldn't get up. Like it hurt too much to get up my neck, and it's really weird. I don't even know what really happened. I just know I took an ambulance to the hospital. It's crazy. It was on Easter, and you know, in my head, I had a lot more detail to that story. Like I swore I remembered more of it, but here I am in 2020 of June and not remembering it. So I guess I didn't. Oh well. These enemies were always cool. I remember, like I said, I always imitate. I always do that, like the kind of cock. That's not the word. What's the word? You know, when you like reload your thing. I'm sure you'll hear the sound effect in a second when I get over there. Here, listen. That one. That sound effect when like he like aims up his thing. And I think they took that out and rehydrated. I think they took that sound effect out and rehydrated. I remember getting mad about something with them. It's either that or their animation isn't as snappy anymore. Because that was something I always liked. I love the I love the snappiness of it. So, I mean, I'll just have to rewatch the trailers, I suppose. Speaking of trailers, while recording, I got a notification that tomorrow, which I guess this is episode 3, so by the time this comes up, you've already seen it. So yay, dating episodes. But yes, by the time this came up, or by the time this goes up, will have seen the new trailer for the Isle of Armor Pokemon DLC, which I think I'm excited for. It's so the whole Dexit situation, right? It's weird because I was mad at first. I went on the bandwagon of everyone being mad about the game, because it does look not the greatest, in my opinion. And you know, the fact that they cut all the Pokemon is because they said the reason for cutting them was to make it look better. But in reality, I don't think that's why they did it. I think it has more to do with like creating a metagame, creating an experience of only those Pokemon, if that makes any sense. Which, again, I know it's brought up. You can just do that with having all of them in there. You just restrict events for the Pokedex, but still, I don't know. There's something. I've weirdly grown to like it. The fact that they're not all in there, and the fact that they're adding more actually is a little upsetting, to be honest. Because with the I don't know if they're adding them all at once or if they're adding them in separate batches with the DLC. But like the fact that they're adding all the legendaries back is kind of annoying, because that was one of the fun parts. Like, I remember the metagame was always like Landorus has apparently been a staple in the VGC since its inception, as long as it's legal. Like, and there was something like relaxing or comforting. No, there's hiccups again. What causes hiccups, right? Like, I don't know. Anyway, I'm trying to basically I'm trying to say that I'm okay with the fact that they're not all there now. I know I'm sure that there's money reasons involved, and I'm sure there were there's rushing it and other terrible reasons as to why they're not all there. But like a person with Stockholm Syndrome, I've grown to accept it. You know what I'm saying? I've grown to be okay with the fact that they're not all in there. Also, speaking of, I think this is a good spot to stop, because I just remembered I'm not supposed to go all the way through this. I'm supposed to stop in the middle and try that out. So we shall see you next time in downtown in the rooftops, and I hope you have a lovely day, because you just got to keep trying. Never stop believing in yourself. You've got this, man. Let's go. Bye.